Ever had one of those moments where, like a car trouble,
Hmm.
you're stranded because of some engine
Well,
problem?
absolutely. We've all been there.
It makes you realize just how vital engines are. Now imagine that on a massive scale, like on a cargo ship crossing the ocean.
It's a whole other level of complexity and importance, that's for sure.
Right. And that's what we are diving into today, the world of vessel engine testers. We've got a career guide, hot off the press from RoleCatcher, December 2023. And let me tell you, it's not just about being handy with a wrench.
Yeah, the guide really opens your eyes to how much technology is involved now. Data analysis, computerized simulations, it's pretty impressive.
Exactly. So get ready, because we're about to go way beyond the typical grease monkey image. We're talking high-tech labs testing everything from electric motors to, get this, nuclear reactors.
It's a career path that's evolving quickly.
That's what makes it so fascinating, right? So
Yeah.
let's get into it. So this role catcher guide, it lays out like a career path, right? From entry level all the way to like seasoned pro.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know how in, say, software development, you don't just jump into being a lead developer?
Makes sense. You got to
No,
learn the ropes first.
exactly.
Yeah.
Same idea here. Entry level, it's all about those hands-on fundamentals, getting to grips with the basics.
So like actual wrenching on engines.
Well, there's some of that for sure, but the guy, it really stresses the importance of understanding the tech
Oh,
too.
right. Like all that data analysis stuff we were talking about.
Yep, they even mention a specific software, Marine Sim. It's used for simulating like different ocean conditions, stress tests, all that.
Whoa, that's pretty high tech. So not just tightening bolts anymore.
Nope, you're analyzing data, looking for anomalies, helping to optimize those engines for like peak performance.
Okay, so that's entry level. What about when you move up? Junior tester, right.
Right, and this is where it gets really interesting, at least for me. The guide says junior testers often specialize in specific types of engines.
Oh, so like you become the diesel guru or the gas turbine pro.
Exactly. And they're not just testing either. They're involved in like implementing new protocols, keeping up with regulations, even working with the engineers on design improvement.
Wow, so it's a lot more collaborative than you might think.
Absolutely. And all that experience feeds into becoming a senior vessel engine tester, which is, the top dog.
Okay, so what makes a senior tester so special?
Experience, mainly. They've seen it all, heard it all. The guide says they can often diagnose an engine problem just by listening to it.
No way, that's amazing. Like engine whisperers or something.
Right. And they're the ones who oversee the big projects, mentor the junior testers, work directly with shipyards and manufacturers. They're like the problem solvers of the engine world.
Sounds pretty important. But speaking of important, I was surprised the guide said the job outlook is just average. With all the shipping going on, I figured they'd be in high demand.
It's not quite that simple. Yes, shipping is booming, but the way ships are built and maintained is changing too. Automation is a big factor.
Ah, so fewer hands needed because things are more computerized.
Exactly. So while the demand is there, the skills required are shifting. You need that computer knowledge, that data analysis background.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just about being mechanically inclined anymore. It's about being tech savvy, too.
Absolutely. This role catcher guide, it doesn't just tell you what the job is, it tells you how to stay ahead of the curve, how to keep learning.
And that's something else that caught my eye. Like, RoleCatcher isn't just this guide. They've got all sorts of stuff to help with your career.
Oh, yeah, they've got like resume building tools, interview prep, even something about connecting you with potential employers. It's pretty cool.
So they're not just telling you about the job, they're trying to help you land it, too.
Exactly. And one thing they talk about that I found really interesting is, you know how AI is being used more and more in hiring?
Yeah, I've heard about that, like those algorithms that scan resumes for keywords.
Right. So RoleCatcher, they give you tips on how to optimize your online profiles, write cover letters that grab attention, even highlight the skills that those AI systems are looking for.
Wow, it's like they're giving you the cheat codes to beat the system.
In a way, yeah. They're equipping you with the knowledge to navigate this new world of job hunting, whether you're just starting out or looking for your next big move.
It's pretty amazing how much the job market has changed, even in a field like vessel engine testing.
It goes to show no matter what you do, staying adaptable, learning new skills, that's the key to staying ahead.
It's wild,
Yeah.
right? Started talking about engines, and now we're talking about AI and, like, the future of work.
It all connects, though, doesn't it? This idea of technology changing how we do, well, pretty much everything.
Totally. And RoleCatcher, they seem to get that. They're not just giving you information. They're giving you the tools to navigate all this change.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, hey, we know the job market can be a bit of a maze, so here's a map and a compass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of maps, this guide lays out a pretty clear path for vessel engine testers, but what about after that? Like, once you hit senior tester, what's next?
That's a great question. Some, they might stay hands-on, become those mentors we talked about, passing on their knowledge.
Makes sense. Share that engine wisdom.
But others, they might take their expertise in a whole new direction. Like the guide mentions, some might move into maritime engineering.
Whoa, so instead of testing engines, they're designing them.
Exactly. Or they might go into consulting, advising shipping companies, maybe even insurance firms.
So their knowledge of engines becomes super valuable to all sorts of people.
Exactly. And that's what I think is so cool about this field. It's not just one straight line. It's a starting point for all sorts of possibilities.
And that's something we see more and more these days, right? Like, no matter what you do, being able to adapt, learn new skills, that's what really matters.
Absolutely. This whole deep dive, it just goes to show that the world of work is changing faster than ever.
Totally. So whether you're thinking about a career testing massive engines or, anything else, the message is clear. Stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to embrace the unexpected.
Couldn't have said it better myself.